The movie begins with a white guy named Casey Nolan, who has a thick brown beard, making a YouTube video for the channel Mindseed TV. Casey is a paranormal investigator by profession. He records ghost hunting videos and has recently started recording new episodes. In these episodes, he orders items from the dark web and then unboxes them. Casey starts recording his new video. At the start, he tells his audience about his past collection of spooky dark web items. He then mentions that the items may be linked to crime cases. He also says that some of the items he received were so mysterious that he had to give them to the police, as they may be linked. For example, he once received a bag of hair with blood on it. However, for the video he is recording, Casey says that the order he has recently received is a doll. It is a horrifying doll, but the more puzzling thing has to be the USB attached to the head of the doll. Casey shows the doll to his YouTube audience. He then takes off the USB from the doll's head before plugging it into the laptop. He gives a disclaimer to the audience that the USB could contain material that may be linked to criminal cases. He plugs in the USB, and a video starts to play. In the footage, there are two men, Aaron and Kevin. They are both going to Canada. They are excited, and Kevin is recording every single moment of their travel. Soon, they both arrive at Quebec airport. The moment they go out of the airport, a car comes in front of them. A woman comes out of the car, and her name is Lena Carpenter. She is a filmmaker, and Kevin and Aaron are working on a film for her. They greet her with a great smile and excitement. Lena's leg is injured, so Aaron asks to drive, which she allows. Lena tells them if they want to call someone, they should do it now, because they won't be getting phone signals at the location they are going to. Kevin and Aaron call their family. They inform them that they have reached Canada. The trio starts to have fun in the car, as they remember the good times from the past movie they did. Lena tells them that her leg broke because she fell from a ladder while fixing some leakages in her house. The trio is in a happy mood and is having great chit-chat. They all then stop at a restaurant and have food. They get on the road again, and Lena starts to talk about the story of a little girl, Aurore, who is known as a child martyr in the town. In 1920, Aurore was abducted by her parents. They tied her up in a room with rats, and the rats ate her. Lena tells this story to Kevin and Aaron because she wants them to visit the house where Aurore was asleep. However, Kevin and Aaron find the story of Aurore very disturbing. Their reactions show that they aren't interested. In the meantime, they reach Lena's house, which is old and looks very spooky. She welcomes the two, who aren't very comfortable after seeing her house. She tells them that the house was owned by her great-grandparents, and it was passed down through generations. Aaron and Kevin are uncomfortable in Lena's house, as pictures of her family are all over them. However, Lena comforts them and continues with a house tour. Lena asks them to follow her to the basement, to which they hesitate. But Lena insists, and they agree. It's a normal basement with old furniture. But something about the basement makes Kevin and Aaron uneasy, and they quickly leave. Aaron goes to sleep soon, but Kevin and Lena are awake. Aaron snores loudly while sleeping, and Lena and Kevin start to make fun of him. Kevin starts filming, but notices that the roaring wind outside has stopped. He finds this odd and tells Lena to check. She does so, and sees some people outside performing a ritual. They feel weird, and they wake up Aaron. They tell him the situation, and he looks outside. He sees no one outside, and laughs at them, thinking they are pranking him, and goes to sleep again. Lena and Kevin feel a little uneasy, but then they both go to sleep. The next day, the trio goes to the supermarket. Aaron records some of the snacks that he is seeing for the first time. He also records Kevin, who is secretly stealing a Canadian beer. While recording, they see a French woman behind them who is looking angrily at them. Lena asks the women, in French, if everything's all right, to which the women start shouting. Lena asks Aaron to stop as the woman is angry with him recording. They stop recording and leave. At the house, the trio is having dinner. They are in confusion as they want to decide the story and the script of their next film. Aaron asks Lena about Aurore's story, as he says that her story can be an attraction for viewers, as it is based on a real event. Lena eagerly goes to her room and brings out some photos. She shows them to Aaron and Kevin. They are the photos of Aurore's father and mother. She convinces Kevin and Aaron that the story will be successful, and they both agree. The trio decides that they will do an intensive search of the Aurore case to get to know the real story. The authentic story would allow them to direct the film in the best way possible. Lena says that the assassination took place in the town of Fortierville, which is nearby. The moment she says this, a loud bang occurs, and they all stand up in desperation. The banging sound is coming from the stairs. Aaron goes towards the stairs and finds out that the upstairs hatch door has slammed shut. Lena finds this odd, as she says that it can be closed from the other side. However, he blames the wind for the door being closed. He uses his strength and opens the hatch door. He also checks on the upper floor to see if some thief may have broken it, but there isn't anyone, and the windows are also closed. Kevin also thinks the door slammed, but ignores it by thinking it was the wind. They get back to Aurore's story. Therefore, they pack their bags and start to travel to Fortierville. They soon arrive at Fortierville, and they see a huge church. Aaron turns on the camera, and they enter the church. It is a beautiful church with pretty lights. It is neat and clean, and it also has some man-made sculptures in it. Aaron records them, one by one. Suddenly, the father of the church comes and is terrified to see them. He straight away asks them to leave. Lena goes to the father and calms her down. The father relaxes a bit, but Lena then immediately asks the father if they can record the church for a horror film. This makes the father furious, and he shouts and pushes them out of the church. The trio first laughs, and then sees the board of the graveyard nearby. Lena says that the grave of Aurore may be present in this graveyard. They get in the car, go to the graveyard, and start to look for Aurore's grave. Aaron and Kevin feel a little uneasy when looking at multiple graves. Suddenly, they see a grave on which dozens of dolls are placed. At first, they are a little terrified, but then they read the name of Aurore on it, which means it's her grave. They realize that after so many years, the town still remembers Aurore, which shows how sad they are about her. While they are seeing the grave of Aurore, Lena sees a girl running nearby and recognizes her. The girl's name is Chantal, and she is a friend of Lena. Chantal also recognizes Lena, and she runs towards her. They both meet with excitement as they are meeting after days. She asks Lena where she has been and what she's doing in Fortierville. Lena introduces Kevin and Aaron. She then tells her that she has been busy and tells her about the ongoing project to discover the story of Aurore. Chantal gets impressed when she hears about it. She tells them that her uncle is living in Aurore's house currently. This delights Lena, and she immediately asks her to give them a house tour. Chantal replies that she will ask her uncle, and if he agrees, she will give them the tour. This makes the trio happy. They decide that they will gather all the other information until they get the house tour. The town is covered with snow, and more snow starts falling. Therefore, Lena and Aaron start to play, and they get distracted. They hit the road at night, and due to heavy snowfall, the roads are slippery. Kevin finds it hard to drive on slippery roads. All of a sudden, Lena screams and jumps to turn the steering wheel to the right. Kevin loses control of the car, and it crashes. Kevin gets furious and asks why she did this, to which she replies that she saw a girl in the middle of the highway. Aaron and Kevin turn towards the highway and see no one there. Kevin gets furious and starts to heckle Lena personally while talking to Aaron. The car has broken down and isn't starting. It's midnight and freezing cold. Lena suggests they should ask someone for a night stay, and there are some houses close by. At first, Kevin and Aaron are hesitant, but they agree eventually due to the cold. Lena leads the way, and they reach a farmhouse. She rings the doorbell of the farmhouse of Mr. Benoit and Mrs. Blanche. Benoit comes out of the door and sees Kevin filming, which disturbs him. Lena tries to explain to him that their car broke down, and they are looking for a place to stay. Benoit only speaks French, and due to the cold, Lena isn't able to communicate properly. Her teeth are chattering. Benoit calls his wife, Blanche, who comes out of her room and sees the trio. He tells her the situation in French and tells her to communicate in English. She attempts to overcome the language barrier. Before Lena could say anything, Aaron interrupts and tells her that they just need a tow truck. Blanche welcomes them into her home. Blanche sends Benoit to find a tow truck, to which he reluctantly agrees. Lena introduces themselves to Blanche, and she greets them happily. She asks what the trio is up to, and Lena tells them they are looking to film a local haunting story. Shockingly, Blanche also shows interest in haunting. She says that there have been a few hauntings in the area. The thing that shocks the trio the most is that Blanche reveals that she reads cards, which is considered to be an evil act. This creeps out the trio. However, Lena tells her about the Aurore story and asks her if she has seen a little girl before on the highway. She only replies to her that the Aurore story is delicate, and the residents don't like people adding up unauthentic details to it. Blanche then says that she would like to do a card reading for Lena. Lena feels uneasy but agrees. They both sit in front of each other. Blanche asks Lena what she wants to know, to which she shows confusion. Kevin tells her to ask about their new movie, and she agrees. She asks about the movie, and Blanche places 4 cards in front of her. The first card is revealed, and it shows the world, which means fulfillment. The trio thinks about the completion of the movie. The second card is revealed, which shows demise. Blanche says that this can mean new beginnings. They move on further, and the last 2 cards also show demise. This occurrence is highly rare and shocks Blanche too. Before she can say anything, Benoit comes back and says that the truck is ready to tow their car. The truck driver charges their car's battery, and the car starts. He instructs them to drive carefully and leaves. The trio thanks him and continues their journey again. On their way back, Kevin hands a book to Lena, The Languages of Grim Reaper. Kevin has stolen this book from Blanche. Aaron gets angry at Kevin, but he says that he did this so that their horror film could be more realistic. Lena reads the book but feels uneasy. Aaron asks what's the problem, to which she replies that 3 fatality cards were pulled out. As they are 3 of them, it can mean that they are going to meet their demise. Aaron laughs and says that is all fake, and she needs to be more realistic. He calms her down, and they soon reach the house. Aaron and Kevin are in their bedroom. Kevin hears some noises from the outside, so he looks through the window. He sees a bunch of people performing some ritual and reading the verses aloud. Kevin calls Aaron to see this, but Aaron declines by saying that he is booking an early flight back. Kevin, in confusion, asks why, to which Aaron replies that he is tired. They both get into an argument, but a loud screaming voice from Lena rings all over the house. They rush down to her room and see that she has slipped and fallen. Lena then starts crying, explaining that she put in all the hard work and apologizes for the accident. Kevin and Aaron calm her, and the trio pledges that they will finish this film in the best way possible. The next day, Lena isn't feeling well. Her doorbell rings, and it's Chantal. She greets her and tells her that her uncle Gagnon has given them permission to tour the house, and she will take them there. The name Gagnon shocks them a bit, as Gagnon was also the last name of Aurore. However, they all feel excited, and they tell Chantal that they will visit soon. They leave for the supermarket, where everyone is giving them a suspicious look. The trio is now used to it, and they just pick up some snacks and leave. When they come back, Lena starts reading the book that Kevin had stolen from Blanche. In the book, it is told that in the 1600s, people used to perform a ritual of offering human bodies and blood to keep evil spirits out of town. Kevin and Lena both find this very amusing. However, they soon reach the Gagnon house. It is a well-built 2-story house. Chantal's uncle is ready to welcome them all. He tells them this house has been passed down from generation to generation. Lena asks him about the father of Aurore, to which he replies that he saw him when he was very young and doesn't remember clearly. He then takes them all upstairs for the tour. He shows them the door of the room where Aurore stayed and was found deceased. He says that he hears sounds at night from the room. Aaron, however, says that if he checks, maybe it can be raccoons. Gagnon replies that he called for a check, but no one came, so he called a priest and blessed the room. Kevin says that they can pay to open the room, to which Gagnon gets angry and asks if Kevin is joking. Chantal calms him down, and the uncle goes downstairs. Kevin breaks the door open, which makes Gagnon furious, and he pushes them out of his house. Aaron is furious at Kevin, saying that he is crazy, but suddenly Kevin shouts to stop the car, and he says that he saw a girl. They go back home and replay the footage, and they see the face of a girl when Kevin yelled to stop. Aaron doesn't believe it, saying it can be dirt, but Kevin and Lena are firm on it. After seeing the footage, Aaron, in disbelief, goes to sleep. When he wakes up, Lena calls him and tells him that there are more clips of paranormal activities happening that they didn't notice. When they were visiting the graves, a face was watching them, but they didn't see anything. This astonishes Aaron, and he says that it can't be possible. At this moment, Lena reveals that she has edited these videos so they look real. Aaron gets angry as he says that the authenticity will be faked, but Lena and Kevin are firm. They say that they are going to perform a ritual to see if any soul wants to connect with them. They go to the basement and start the ritual. Suddenly, a fire alarm goes off, and they rush upstairs. They blame Aaron for having done this, to which he replies that he hasn't. Suddenly, the whole house starts to shake as if there is an earthquake. Kevin falls to the ground. All of a sudden, Blanche enters their house and asks where her book is. She sees the book and scolds Kevin for stealing it. Kevin also gives her a tape that was used to tie Aurore's room. While giving her the tape, Kevin says that he feels burned on his back, and he takes his shirt off. Scratches are visible all over his body, and Kevin is in an unusual amount of pain. Aaron and Lena freak out, and they tell Blanche to call an ambulance. She says that it's too late, and by performing the ritual, they have called an evil spirit, and soon the spirit will take him away. Aaron, in desperation, asks about the evil spirit, but she doesn't answer. Aaron and Lena follow her outside and see a group of people chanting verses and holding candles. They get frightened and rush inside. only to see Kevin isn't there. They hear him scream and rush outside, discovering that the group has disappeared. The heartbreaking screams increase the fear of Aaron and Lena. In search of Kevin, they reach a farmhouse. They enter it and see the beheaded body of Kevin. Kevin's body has been offered for sale. Lena and Aaron start to cry and turn to run away, but the group surrounds them and hits them on the head, assassinating them, and the footage ends. Casey, who has received the flash drive containing footage of what happened with Kevin, Aaron, and Lena, tells his audience that he will report this to the authorities. He urges his audience that if anyone knows them, they should contact him as it is a case.